January 29th, 1945. A frozen Belgian village called Holtzheim. First Sergeant Leonard Funk walks around the corner of a farmhouse and stops dead. 90 German soldiers are staring at him. Half of them are holding weapons. The other half are picking up rifles from a pile on the ground. 4 American GIs kneel in the snow, hands behind their heads. These Germans were prisoners 20 minutes ago. 80 of them captured by Funk's company during the assault on this village. Now they're free, armed, and organizing to attack from the rear. A German officer steps forward, shoves an MP-40 submachine gun into Funk's stomach. Screams something in German. Funk doesn't speak German. The officer screams again, louder, face turning red. Funk looks at the 90 Germans, looks at his 4 disarmed soldiers, looks at the MP-40 pressed against his gut, and starts laughing. What happens next takes less than 60 seconds. 21 Germans will die. The rest will surrender. And Leonard Funk will earn the Medal of Honor for one of the most insane acts of combat in World War II, all because he couldn't stop laughing. Leonard Funk was born August 27, 1916, in Braddock Township, Pennsylvania, a steel town along the Monongahela River, 8 miles east of Pittsburgh. By the time he graduated high school in 1934, the Great Depression was grinding through its 5th year. Jobs were scarce. College was a fantasy. Funk learned responsibility early, taking care of his younger brother while barely more than a kid himself. June 1941. War is raging across Europe and Asia. Congress extends the draft. Funk's number comes up. He's 24 years old, 5'5", 140 pounds. The Army examiner probably thought, clerk duty. They were wrong. Funk volunteers for the Paratroopers. In 1941, American airborne forces barely exist. The concept is new, jumping out of aircraft to land behind enemy lines and fight surrounded. It sounds like suicide. The volunteers are a different breed. They have to be. Airborne training is designed to break you. 5 weeks of brutal conditioning that washes out half the candidates. Then the jump towers, then the aircraft. The first time you step out of a C-47 at 1,200 feet, everything in your body screams to grab the door frame. The ground is a long way down. Your parachute is just fabric and cord and faith. Funk earns his jump wings, gets assigned to Company C, 508th Parachute Infantry Regiment. They join the 82nd Airborne Division, the All-Americans. By D-Day, Funk is a squad leader. By war's end, he'll be acting company executive officer. First, though, he has to survive Normandy. June 6, 1944, 1:30 a.m. Funk's C-47 shudders as flak explodes around it. He's standing in the stick, the line of paratroopers waiting to jump. 60 pounds of equipment strapped to his body. The green light comes on. Funk jumps. He lands hard. His ankle twists on impact. Badly sprained, maybe fractured. The pain is immediate. Every step will be agony for 2 weeks. But he can walk. He can fight. That's all that matters. There's a problem. He's 40 miles from his drop zone. The Normandy airborne operation is chaos. German anti-aircraft fire has scattered the formations across 50 miles of French countryside. Paratroopers are landing in flooded fields, drowning under the weight of their equipment. Funk gathers lost paratroopers, men from different units, different companies. 18 of them eventually, all looking for leadership. Funk gives it to them. For 10 days, he leads this group through German-held territory, traveling at night, hiding by day, fighting when they have to. He insists on serving as lead scout despite his injured ankle. They link up with Allied forces on June 17th. Every single man survives. 10 days behind enemy lines. 40 miles of occupied France. Leonard Funk brings them all home. The Silver Star, a Bronze Star. His first Purple Heart. He's just getting started. September 1944. Holland Operation Market Garden. Funk's company secures their objective. Then he notices something. 3 German anti-aircraft guns are firing at incoming Allied gliders. Gliders carrying reinforcements, supplies, medical equipment. The gun position is dug in. 20 German soldiers. Funk has 3 men. Standard doctrine says you need a 3-to-1 advantage to assault a prepared position. Funk has the opposite. He's outnumbered 7-to-1. He attacks anyway. Leading from the front, Funk and his 3-man patrol storm the position. They kill the security detachment, neutralize all 3 guns and their crews. 20 Germans, 3 Americans. The Distinguished Service Cross. Second highest decoration for valor, 1 step below the Medal of Honor. December 16, 1944. The Germans launched their last desperate offensive. 3 armies, 400,000 men. They crashed through American lines in the Ardennes forest. For the Americans, it's a nightmare. Entire divisions crumble. The cold is brutal, temperatures dropping to 5 below zero. Men freeze in their foxholes. Then comes Malmedy, December 17th. A convoy from the 285th Field Artillery runs into an SS armored battle group. After a brief fight, 113 Americans surrender. They're herded into a farmer's field. Then the SS opens fire. Machine guns, pistols. Men who try to run are cut down. Wounded men are finished with shots to the head. 84 Americans die in that field. The news spreads through the American army within hours. The Germans are executing prisoners. Malmedy changes everything. Before, the war in Europe had rules. Soldiers surrendered when the situation was hopeless. Prisoners were treated according to the Geneva Convention. After Malmedy, the rules are gone. When Funk hears about the massacre, something hardens inside him. Leonard Funk decides he will never surrender to the Germans. No matter what, that decision is about to matter. January 29, 1945. Company C gets orders to capture the Belgian village of Holtzheim. There's a problem. They're under strength. The executive officer has been killed. Funk is now acting XO. He looks at his depleted roster and makes a decision. He walks to the company headquarters tent. Inside are clerks, supply personnel, cooks, men who normally never see combat. You're all infantry now. Grab your weapons. We're taking that village! The march is 15 miles through waist-deep snow in a driving blizzard. German artillery harasses them the whole way. They reach Holtzheim, clear 15 houses. 30 prisoners captured. Another unit captures 50 more. 80 prisoners total, corralled in a farmhouse yard. Funk can only spare 4 men to guard them. Keep them here. We'll send reinforcements when we can. He heads back into the fight, while Funk is clearing the rest of Holtzheim. A German patrol approaches the farmhouse. 10, maybe 20 men wearing white camouflage. In the snow, they look almost like American troops. The guards don't realize the danger until it's too late. The Germans overwhelm them, disarm them, force them to their knees. Then they free the prisoners. 90 Germans total now! Armed, organizing to attack Company C from the rear. That's when Leonard Funk walks around the corner. The German officer spots him immediately. The first sergeant stripes mark him as a prize. The officer strides forward, shoves his MP-40 into Funk's stomach, screams a command. Surrender, except Funk doesn't speak German. The officer screams again, louder. Funk looks around, 90 Germans. His 4 men disarmed and helpless. The mathematics of survival are 0. The sensible thing is to surrender, but Funk remembers Malmedy. So instead of complying, Leonard Funk starts laughing. Nobody knows exactly why. Maybe it was a ruse, a tactic to buy time. Maybe it was stress. Maybe it was genuine amusement at the absurdity. Funk himself later said he tried to stop but couldn't. The German officer screams louder. Funk laughs harder. He bends over, shoulders shaking, calls out to his men. I don't understand what he's saying. Some of the German soldiers start laughing too. The officer is completely thrown off. This isn't how prisoners behave. For a few critical seconds, the German doesn't know what to do. Funk uses those seconds. Still appearing to laugh, he slowly reaches up toward his Thompson submachine gun. The German officer watches. Good! The American is surrendering his weapon! Funk's hand closes around the grip. He begins to unsling it. Slowly, carefully. Then he moves. In one motion, faster than thought, he swings the Thompson down, brings the muzzle into line, and squeezes the trigger. The first burst catches the German officer in the chest, dead before he hits the ground. Funk doesn't stop. He pivots, still firing. The Thompson sprays lead across the Germans nearest him. Men scream, men fall. The magazine runs dry. 30 rounds gone in seconds. This is the critical moment. 2 seconds to reload. 2 seconds is forever in a firefight. Funk yanks the empty magazine, slams a fresh one in, racks the bolt, and keeps shooting. At the same time, he's screaming at his men. Pick up their weapons! Pick up their weapons! The 4 guards scramble for rifles. Seconds ago, they were prisoners. Now they're fighting for their lives. The Germans are in chaos. Their officer is dead. Nobody knows what to do. 60 seconds. That's all it takes. 21 German soldiers lie dead. 24 more are wounded. The rest, more than 40, throw down their weapons. Leonard Funk stands in the middle of the carnage, smoke rising from his Thompson. That, he says, was the stupidest thing I've ever seen. September 5th, 1945, the White House. President Harry Truman places the Medal of Honor around Leonard Funk's neck. I would rather have this medal, Truman says, than be President of the United States. Let's count what Leonard Funk earned during World War II. Medal of Honor for Holtzheim, Distinguished Service Cross for Holland, Silver Star for Normandy. Bronze Star, 3 Purple Hearts, wounded 3 times and kept fighting, plus decorations from France, Belgium, and the Netherlands. Leonard Funk is the most decorated paratrooper of World War II. 5'5", 140 pounds, a former store clerk who became a legend. The war ends. Funk goes home. He doesn't write a book, doesn't do the lecture circuit, doesn't turn his Medal of Honor into a speaking career. He gets a job with the Veterans Administration, helping other veterans navigate paperwork, processing disability claims, cutting through red tape for men who'd given everything. For 27 years, Leonard Funk sits at a desk and helps veterans. When people ask about Holtzheim, about the laughing, about the 90 Germans, he shrugs it off. Did what I had to do. That's it. That's all he ever says. November 20th, 1992. Leonard Funk dies of cancer at 76. They bury him at Arlington National Cemetery. Section 35, grave 2373A. Most people have never heard of Leonard Funk. They know Audie Murphy. They know Alvin York. They don't know the quiet paratrooper who laughed at 90 Germans and killed 21 of them with a Tommy gun. Here's what the story of Leonard Funk tells us. War doesn't favor the big. It doesn't favor the strong. It favors the ones who keep thinking when everyone else has stopped. At Holtzheim, Funk had every reason to surrender. 90 against 1, a gun in his stomach. His men already captured. Any rational person would have given up. But Funk wasn't thinking about the math. He was thinking about Malmedy, about his men, about what would happen to Company C if these Germans escaped. So he laughed, and while everyone was confused, he made his move. 60 seconds later, he was standing in a field of bodies, alive, when he should have been dead. Courage isn't about size or strength or training. Courage is what you do when there's a gun in your stomach and 90 men want you dead.